Hey, so it's here today. I'm going to do another explaining thing. Remember, this would be the first. You didn't see that one, but Teen Titans and all that stuff, right? Explaining it. Same thing I'm going to be doing. This one is Bluey, and the reason I'm not doing it on my computer is because it's kind of out of commission right now. I don't have it, so I'm not sure where it is. It's probably could be fixed, anyways. But I'm going to be doing this right here because I feel like I should do at least some kind of video. I'm going to do a request. I'm just going to do this request when my computer gets back. Until then, we're not going to do anything like that. But, anyways, let's get right on in. Anyway, Bluey is an Australian animated series about a 6-year-old blue heeler puppy who, along with her family, transforms everyday life into extraordinary adventures through imaginary play. Each episode follows Bluey and her younger sister Bingo as they play through games like Magic Xylophone and Keepy Uppy, which is just not in the Bluey touches for. With her parents, Bandit and Chili. And to me, I love Bluey. I love dogs so much that I'm actually got my dog right here with me. But the animation with Bandit and Chili and Bingo and Bluey is just adorable. I love dogs. I have a soft spot for dogs. Anyways, while each episode by episode description isn't provided, the series' general premise is the exploration of childhood, family, and imagination through a collection of diverse and often, just good adventures, right? And let me look for a description for all episodes because I don't have it right here. Because this is the closest thing I get to all the episodes, descriptions. It's very 1 to 2, no, just one sentence long, so I'm gonna explain it more in depth. Okay, so Magic Xylophone, the very first one, is Bennett uses Bluey as a pretend pretend piano and Bingo Witch turn. So this was actually half of it. So there's a xylophone that is magical by Bandit's kind of words. Bluey can say freeze or unfreeze or whatever to get her dad to freeze, basically. Bingo, her younger sister, wants to turn on the xylophone. Well, Bluey, being older than her sister, doesn't want to give her a turn because sibling things, but most of it is just like going through the just trial and error with the age differences and all that stuff, right? But yeah, that's basically the whole thing. Like the Bandit is the one most affected by in this episode, but I'm not sure how that one works. It might just be really a xylophone, but in Bandit's eyes, it's a real thing. Like it's gonna happen. Like this is an actual magical microphone, xylophone, and you can actually freeze people with it. Anyways, hospital. Okay, so the family plays doctor while Bluey and the doctor and Bingo as the nurse. So this one actually does add a little bit of realism to it. So Bluey is supposed to be a doctor. Bluey is the nurse. They think Bennett's pregnant somehow, and that kind of makes it a little bit more realistic because kids don't know what is and what isn't. They don't know proper anatomy at that point. So, depending on if you have a boy or girl, they don't know male anatomy, they don't know female anatomy, all that stuff. So that goes off of whatever. So that's kind of what goes off of there. So they try to get a cat or whatever out of Bandit just so that they can figure out what's wrong with him. Throughout the episode, Bluey keeps hitting her dad with a freaking eraser or something, which hurts him a lot, and that just kind of makes it to where it's like, okay, well, realism they're hurting the parents in the process. That's gonna happen. That's basically what it is. To keep you uppy, okay, so Bluey and Bingo try to use a balloon from keep a balloon from hitting the ground. So this one actually is also real. In America, we call it something totally different. I'm not even sure if we have a word for it actually. But you ever played that? I've even played that game. But we've all played the game where we're trying to keep the balloon either in the house or outside. Keep it from hitting the ground no matter what, right? If we do let it hit the ground, it's because we're either bored with the game or we're done. We're whatever, something like that. But this one is basically where they're outside. Well, it's actually inside and outside. They ruin the house in the process, but the mom and dad are clearly into the game with Bingo and Bluey, and their dad is trying to like destroy their chances of getting it off the ground again or keeping it up in the air. So that's a little bit different. What else? The mom is trying to like keep the balloon up in the air, like you know, dads are supposed to destroy everything for the kids, and the mom is supposed to be the fun one. Not gonna be the case when I'm a parent. Anyways, um, that's about it. Most of these are pretty straightforward, and I can't really tell you any more about it because it's basically like the whole thing is right here because it's like a 7 minute episode, every episode, and it's easy. So, Daddy Robot. Okay, so Bluey and Bingo use a Daddy Robot to help them tie up their playroom. So this one gets a little bit different with the way they word things. Um, so they have Daddy Robot tidy up the playroom. Yes, that part is true. But also they word it totally differently than how I would say it because I'm 27 years old. Come on, but it just happens to be make it to where we don't have to do it ever again or whatever, right? So at that point, Daddy Robot takes them up to the room or their room, attempts to lock them in so they can never mess it up again. Because keep them in the room means they never come out, which means they can't mess up the room no more. That's kind of what happens there. But Chili always gets involved, and that's why moms are so important. Okay, so Shadowlands. So the kids play a game called what the heck? Where they can only step on shadows. So this one's pretty good. This one is a bit different, mainly because of the way Carmela and Chill. It's where they can't step in the sunlight. So they're trying to step on the shadows to get to the parents' picnic or whatever, just by doing the shadows because apparently the 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 sunlight I guess is lava. It's kind of like the floor is lava but with shadows. That's what's going on, and they try to like change the rules a little bit, and they can't because it's the game, right? Anyway, the weekend. So okay, me and Miguel are excited to spend the weekend playing games at home. So this one's kind of different because they're off school and if they're on the weekend, that's basically the whole thing. That's literally the whole thing. Barbecue. Okay, so here we go. Bennett and Chili host a barbecue with Bluey and Bingo to play their own version with cousins and Muffins and Socks. So Muffin is the cousin of Bluey, obviously, the older one of her and Socks. Is Muffin a girl? I don't know. But they're striped healers. So Chili and Bingo are red healer. I'll explain this later. But Socks is like the smaller one of the pack, right? And it's just, you know, it's a different one. It's a wholly different. I'll show you. I'll show you a page later. But right now, we're doing this. Anyways, that's about it. That's basically the whole thing. Um. Yeah. So, all right. Fruit Bat. A fun, slightly mischievous game of Fruit Bat with Bluey and Bingo. So that one does not have a. What the freak does that mean? A fun, slightly mischievous game. That tells us nothing. But I'm gonna tell you about yours. So Bluey and Bingo are trying. Bluey wants to be a fruit bat for some reason. Oh yeah, because okay, she doesn't want to go to bed at night. Basically, no kids do, unless you're like doing. I don't know. It's weird, but that's how it basically is. That's all it is. Um, she has a dream. Bluey has a dream. She can't fall asleep. She has a dream about being a fruit bat. All that stuff. Pretty cool. Horsey Ride. Simply fun, but simple but fun episode of Bluey and Bingo pretending to be to ride horses. I think I know what it is. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm pretty sure this is where Bandit and his cousin or whatever get or her brother, right? I don't know. But they have like a little thing there. Hotel. Okay, this one's pretty easy. So Bluey and Bingo turn their home into a hotel and check in guests. So Bandit actually has to go to bed and has to get up early the next morning day, right? Well, in hotel, they turn the house into a hotel with room numbers on the rooms and all that stuff. They have a big house. But they do that and then it's just like it turns into like I don't know. It's hard to explain because Bandit tries to get into his own room and that's kind of realism that parents have to deal with kids. So that's basically it. That's it. Like a story about the challenge of Georgia riding a bike. That's basically what the whole thing is, and that's literally all it is. Bob Bilby, Bluey's toy. Bob Bilby goes on a little adventure with the family. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm not sure if this happened when you were in elementary school, but back in my school we had a teddy bear where we had to take home for a whole night or whatever and bring it back to school the next morning. It was for like I don't know what it was. It was just a little thing we did with the teddy bear, and I changed the clothes with like I don't know whatever all that stuff. And yeah, it was. I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was that bad because whatever. My mom was still alive at that time, but I don't know. It, that was just a weird thing that I did when I was in elementary school. But oh geez, yeah. So Bob Bilby. I'm not sure why they changed that. It was there was just like a hand puppet, or I guess in their case it'd be a paw puppet. But yeah, every single one in their class took pictures of where they went and all that stuff. Bluey didn't do anything cool, so they decided to do other cool stuff around the house. But I don't know. It was weird. Anyways, that's basically all that was. The whole class did it, and they had to do it too. So good, I did that too. Okay, so Spy Game. A classic game of spies with the kids and their dad. Okay, so dad, what? Huh? Okay, well, I'm not sure about dads, but I do know they were spies. They had like passwords and all that stuff. They were like trying to get potions and stuff like that. I think that's basically all it was. Take away the family orders, take out androids and just mail them home. Oh, okay, sorry. So here's what's going on. So basically, uh, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo stop at a restaurant called Takeaway. Bandit with spring rolls. It's kind of like an Asian restaurant. It's like kind of like a Chinese place, but it's called Takeaway. And they they basically Bandit wants spring rolls. Not sure why. Well, actually, I do know why because spring rolls are freaking delicious. But he wants those, but they're gonna be a little bit. So Bandit has to manage everything while Blue and Bingo have little kid fun play. It's a thing. So that's basically all it is. Butterflies. Okay, so Bingo and Bluey and Bingo try to catch butterflies in the garden. We're gonna skip that one because that's basically all it is. I'm gonna come out and then I'm gonna get a drink and I'll be right back, guys. 1 second. All right. All right. So, let's go. Okay, here we go. Okay, where was? Oh yeah, so yoga ball. A fun funny episode where the family uses a yoga ball for games and activities. So yeah, yoga. That's basically all it is. Mostly they're really like to the point. That's all it is. Calypso. Okay, so Blue learns about the importance of doing her homework. Okay. I'm not sure about that one. Is that a real thing? Huh. I must have missed that one because I didn't learn anything from doing my homework. What did I do? The doctor. Pretend doctors visit with the fun ways. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this is also at school. So basically, kids were going to Bluey because of the doctor thing. They started screaming. Not sure why. I'm pretty sure this is the right one. And then that just turns into chaos. Calypso is saying, "Hey, you know what happened? Why is this happening? Why did you do that? What was the cause and effect?" A lot of things happened in that episode. I'm not sure how I explain that one, but either way, um, the claw. Okay, so anyways, a fun and fast-paced game of the claw. Okay, so this is actually one that I actually do remember. So, Billy and Bingo were playing a claw machine at like I think a mall or something. Um, and what happened was they didn't win the thing they were trying to get. It's fine because mom and dad, Chili and Bandit, were trying to do the same thing they did at the mill or wherever they were. So Chili decided to do it first. Yeah, you got it. Good job. Here's your toy. Plushies, basically. And Bandit tried and said, "Hey, well, you actually need money for this, right?" So he gave a valuable lesson of like that you can't always get something that you want. That was something else that was the whole thing, right? So he didn't let them get most of the freaking things they wanted. So they were sad about that. But either way, that's the whole thing about the claw. Markets. The family goes to a market to get supplies. Okay. Is this that one? The family goes to a market. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, so Bandit, Chili, Bingo, and Bluey all go to a market, and Bluey is like, and Bingo are trying to like fight over whatever thing is with like, she got better things than me, whatever, all that stuff, right? Learn how you listen about value what you have, all that stuff, right? And then that basically the whole thing is like, yeah, it's a really, yeah, a lot of these are freaking just like right there. Shitty freaking thing. Anyways, okay, Blue Mountains. Bluey and Bingo pretend to go on a trip on Blue Mountains. Okay, so this is actually a place takes place on the dad. Not sure why, but this is happening. So basically, all they're trying to do is like find the softest or comfiest beds in the whole world, and they end up on Dad's ears, and yeah, all that stuff. She plays the big sister. Blue plays the little or wait, yeah, little sister, and then I don't know or something. I'm not sure like that, but they like pause and all that stuff. It was great, and it was just adorable. That was adorable. Um, okay, so the pool. Okay, whoever goes to for swimming in a swimming pool, local pool. This one was. Um, this is about it, right? Yeah, yeah, that's it. Local pool. Okay, so okay, shops. It's a classic playing shop. So they were doing like customers and all that stuff running the shop and stuff like that. It was a good episode. Yeah, but it was just a lot more stuff of getting annoyed and like having to stop games and all that stuff. It was terrible. I didn't like that. The episode was just drawn out. I guess. More, a little bit more for my liking, but whatever. Reagan Ride. Okay. So from my neighborhood in a wagon. Well, different. Um, in a wagon. Oh yeah. No, Ben was just I get up in the early in the morning to go on ride in a wagon. And they decided to put a game inside that. It was weird, but that's basically what it was. Taxi. The family plays a game of taxi and dig around town. Yeah, Bennett was supposed to go on a plane. This is all in the game, obviously, but it's not real. So Bennett was trying to get on a plane. He's gonna get late. He's gonna be late, but then Bluey took a totally different route to pick up a rich lady and her whatever to a freaking zoo or whatever. Bennett makes his plane somehow, and he actually says a slang word in Australian, which is chooks, which means chickens. And so he calls two Sorry, not ugly. Two very old women, which was Bingo and Chili at the time, playing the old women. And they said, "Come on, you old chooks." So he basically said in American language that means just old chickens. He just said, "Come on, you old chickens." That's all it was. Chooks, I didn't know what that was. I thought it was like a slang term that we couldn't use in America. It sounds very wrong, and it sounds very derogatory, but it's Australian, so I'm not gonna question that. Um, but that's all it was. It was pretty good. The beach. A day at the beach with the whole family. Oh yeah. So 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 Chili wanted to go walk, and Bandit was just chilling. Bluey wanted to go with Chili for some odd reason. After a while, and Bingo stayed with Bandit. Well, Bluey didn't know what a seagull was or a crab. I don't think, and she just wanted to reunite with her mom. I get it. But Chili wanted to be alone. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go back. If it was me, I'd say, okay, well, I'm just gonna go back then. If you want to be alone, it's fine, whatever. If you want to be alone, that's fine. I totally get it. But all right, pirates. The kids go on an adventure to find buried treasure as pirates. We're not going over that one. We're not. We're just not. No, this one no. Okay. Granny's Blue and Bingo look after Bandit's early parents. That's basically all it is. Ooh, the creek. The family goes on adventure to the creek. Okay, so Bandit is trying to like saying seriously though, we gotta check out for ticks. There's snakes here. There's leeches, all that stuff. Yeah. Basically all it is. They went to the creek and they had fun. Yeah, it's insane the way all this is. But it was a pretty good episode, honestly. All right, fairies. Bluey and Bingo try to find fairies in the garden, which that is not true. Well, kind of is true, but I'm pretty sure the fairies get mad or whatever, and the family gets terrorized by the fairies or whatever that they can't even see. Yeah, that's basically all it is. But Bingo, I think, was the main culprit, and I'm not sure how the freak they got that past the viewers, but they did. Okay, work. Bluey and Bingo learn about the jobs that their parents do. So I think Bandit. I want to say Bandit works at a brewery because that'd be freaking hilarious. Um, but I'm not sure. I think it is an office job. I'm not sure what Chili does. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Chili even has a job actually. Chili Chili shouldn't have a dog. Have a job, should she? Yeah, she does. She does. Yeah, that's why they do. That's why they go to school and all that. But I didn't know Chili had. I didn't know Chili actually had a job. If they do, they don't tell us what they are. I don't believe they did ever did. All I know is that Bandit has office job. That's all I know about what Bandit does. So it's an office job. It's yeah. All right. Grumpy and the old wise wolfhound. Dog breeds. Okay, so A story about a boy who is afraid of dogs and his grandfather. Don't think that's what it was, but whatever. Alright, anyways. Trampoline. A fun episode about playing on the trampoline. So, okay, so this is actually where Bennett has to go work. And the girls want to play on the trampoline. So, Chili doesn't, I don't think Chili has to work that day. But she's like, okay, yeah, I'll play with you, whatever. It's fine. And then, it turns into something great. Alright, anyways, the dump. Okay, so the family takes the trash to the dump, but it turns into an adventure. So, the bandit thinks he knows the girls think he knows everything. He doesn't. No one knows everything about everything, right? Well, Bluey wants to know where she came from. Ask your mother. I'm not answering that question. So, that's kind of hard to spring on a kid, though. When they get older, they might be able to explain it a little bit better because they're more mature and they know what's going on. I'm not going into detail, but that's basically what's going on. So they basically play I Spy, and oh yeah, freaking go by colors of the cars of the sea and all that. I think that's about it, honestly. Oh no, sorry. No, Bandit takes all the stuff to the dump. Is about to throw away that a drawing that Bluey did on a piece of paper, and she gets sad about it. And then Bandit says, "Look, I'm sorry. If you want it back, here you go." Good episode. Not gonna lie, it's a pretty good episode. Zoo. The family goes to the zoo to see the animals. That was game. Chili was trying to see a whole lot of stuff. She was playing that. Oh yeah, it's great. That's basically all it was. Bandit being the great dad he was, he played the part of the gorilla because it was hilarious. Backpackers. You know them as hikers, but Bluey and Miguel go have a fun adventure with a group of backpackers. Again, it's the point. It's great. Yeah. So there's a little bit more description here across the web. This is actually pretty good. So I'm gonna be able to I'm gonna read those and just go to a summary of what I just read. So anyways, a great adventure with Bluey and Bingo. That's basically all it was. Copycat, Bluey and Bingo played a game of Copycat. That happens a lot. Yeah. So barbecue, here we go. It's lunchtime on Bluey's and her dad's back decks, but every barbecue needs a side of salad. So for Bingo, her relaxing sit down will have to wait. Yeah, because a lot of stuff happens. Fruit bat. So not wanting to go to bed. Yeah. Bluey tries to dream about being in nocturnal fruit bat, so she can stay up all night long, and soon she succumbs to, she wants to, all that stuff. So messages on the phone, the very first episode, like I said. As Bluey and Bingo begin to squabble over the messages on the phone, has the power to free the dead in time and space and time, all that stuff. Yeah. So, Bingo gets the xylophone, obviously, and freezes Bingo as a result. Calypso, okay, so at school, Bluey and her friends all show themselves at various games. Teacher Calypso keeps me out, so I was wrong about that one. Hospital, Dr. Bluey is needing her for assistance when Dad gets a very curious X-ray from Nurse Bingo. It seems that there's a cat inside of him. Scary. Shadowlands. On a picnic on the park, Bluey and Coco and Snickers play Shadowland, but when Coco starts talking and taking shortcuts, Bluey has to show her that that's not how you play. Daddy Robot, yeah, I already told you this one. Yeah, don't do it, when they don't want to do it, but Daddy Robot ends up malfunctioning. Which, yeah, Keepy Uppy, Bluey, Bingo, and Mom play Keepy Uppy, and the last balloon, yeah, becomes competitive when Dad joins in. So at the very end, it pops on the grass, and these are my new ones. Okay, weekend. When Bingo and the walking leaf insect in the garden while playing a game with Bluey and Dad, and gets upset when Dad is caught up. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, that's basically what it was. Um, that's basically all it was really. Um, that's what it was. Um, so that's kind of happened with that. Um, that's all I see, honestly. Um, okay, well, I guess it's all episode. I guess it's all seasons, right? Well, season one, right? I would tell you though. Um, well, I don't. Yeah, I don't think we have any of those. So, um, they had a few things with. Okay, yeah, that's all it was. But I'm gonna do the dog breeds now because if you want to learn more, I will put in um description where you can watch it for free. Anyways, I'm gonna go with the dog breeds. Oh geez. Ooh, there's a lot. Okay. Okay. So, Bluey is an Australian cow dog, also known as a blue heeler. Her family, including her parents Bennett and Chili, and her sister Bingo, are also Australian cow dogs, with Chili and Bingo being red heelers. These dogs are known for being energetic, intelligent, loyal, and great with herding, with the care with the cares 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 care characteristics pushing in the choice trail of the heeler family. Okay, so most of them can go poodles, Australian cow dogs, all that stuff. So there's a lot of them actually. Australian cow dogs, blue and red and blue heelers, Australian kelpies, Australian terrier, Afghan hound, cavapoo, American foxhound, and Kahula leopard, I believe. I'm gonna plug this in really quick because my phone is about to die and I need to keep this video going. There we go. Should be charging. Put this in differently. Is that good? There we go. Oh my god. Freaking charger, man. Oh my god, dude. Hold on guys for 1 second. There we go. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of different ones. Okay, jeez. Okay, let's try this. Get through all these. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. Here you go. So, if you don't know who these are, I'm sorry. You gotta look it up yourself because I cannot go through all this myself. Okay, so here's Bluey's Bluey the pup, the Saddest character. Yes, Bingo's is Bluey's younger sister, a red healer. Bandit, Bluey and Bingo's father, which is a blue healer, and Chili is Bluey's and Bingo's mother, which is also a red healer. Muffin Socks, Bluey's cousin, which I believe are striped healers, if that's a thing, right? Isn't it? Pretty sure. Um, Muffin and Socks are Boo's cousins, which are also striped healers, and Ren and Stripe are Boo's uncles. So Trixie and Brandy are their aunts as well. Um, I think it's funny how they had the freaking so Muffin and Socks are Boo's cousins, but Trixie and Brandy and Red and Stripe are their uncles and aunts. Okay, I got you. There we go. I was right. Okay. Um. So here we go. So these are the names of all these. I'm gonna try. To go through these. Um. So I'm gonna try to do this. Okay. So Bluey and Miguel are blessed with so many friends together. They played valuable life lessons, like how small dogs can make a big difference. So there's Chloe, Coco, Mackenzie, Honey, Lucky, Chucky, Jack, Rusty, Indy, Snickers, Juan Luck, or Jean Luck, sorry, Buddy, Winton, Missy, Leela, Pom Pom, Judo, and Winnie. So these are actually, a lot of these are, yeah. So they also, they do, a lot of them go off like poodles and all that stuff. So this is actually all the main characters that you would see. So Bluey, Bingo, Chili, Bandit, Muffin, Sock, Stripe, Trixie, Radley, Nana, and Bob. Very white name. But yeah, all these, yeah, those are all Okay, so you might see some of these. These are the adults: Pat, Janelle, Wendy, Calypso, Frisky, Dorian, Moore, Brandy, Rocco, Alfie, and Fido. So I can see that. So yeah, so I'm gonna try the breeds again because I'm not sure if I can actually get all this right. Um. Oh, here we go. Okay. Chloe's a Dalmatian. Lucky is a Labrador Retriever. Rusty is Australian Kelpie. Coco is a poodle, obviously. Pom Pom is a Pomeranian. Understandable. Um, Snickers is a Dachshund. Dachshund. I'm not sure how to do that. Mackenzie is a Border Collie. Winton is a English Bulldog. Indy is an Afghan Hound. Calypso is an Australian Shepherd. Um, Jax is Jack Russell Terrier. That Jock. Jack, obviously. Calypso is also an Shepherd. Yeah. Dougie, Cavapoo, Cavapoo, Chow. Okay, yeah. King Charles Spaniel and Poodle mix. So he has two different parents then. His mom's probably a poodle and his dad's probably a King Charles Spaniel. I think that was the thing. But the way they animated makes it freaking adorable. Mainly all that stuff. I want to see my dogs in here. I didn't see an Australian Shepherd. It's a German Shepherd, but I do know they have German Shepherds in here somewhere. I just don't think it's a main character or like a character at all. Maybe I'm not sure though. Characters. Okay, so yeah, Blue Healers. Mackenzie, the World Colleague. Oh yeah, so Mackenzie is also a cow dog apparently. So Bluey and her family are Australian cow dogs, also called healers. Also, characters have different breeds, such as Mackenzie being a Border Collie, Chloe's is a Dalmatian, and Lucky's Labrador. So yeah, all these basically work dogs. Yes, all these. Do they have these? A B C D E F G German Shepherd, right there. So that would be German Shepherd. It would be Gruber's dad, and Policeman. Oh yeah, Policeman. Duh, it's a freaking police dog. Duh, should have known that. Um. So yeah, a lot of the. What's that one? Mackenzie's freaking adorable. She's a Border Collie. He is a Border Collie. So there's actually a very different thing I know in the very last episode of the whole series. I'll also do a continuation of this later, just so I can actually do all this at the same time. There is one I do believe that Bluey had a crush on Mackenzie because he. I'm not sure. Bluey had a crush on Mackenzie, I believe, because of some weird reason. I don't know why. I think because Border Collies and I don't know. But I think it's kind of funny how they freaking put a German Shepherd as a policeman in the freaking show. That's just rich. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna think about my thoughts on Bluey as well. So Bluey is kind of like a show not only for preschoolers but also for adults. right? Giving you a perspective of how kids are, how you probably do all stuff like that with kids, right? Be a good adult, be a good parent, all that stuff, right? Now, I would never tell another parent how to parent because I've never been a parent before. But what I will say is treat your kids with a little bit of dignity, right? Treat your kids with respect. Okay, they're just being kids. They have imaginations that go wild, right? They can see things that those can't see. They view the world totally differently until they get to adulthood, right? You can't write off whatever they say as an actual thing of whatever. Most people, by what they see and perceive it as, is just what happens with a lot of stuff. And a lot of parents don't get that. A lot of parents think that, oh yeah, their kids are just being weird. It's basically it's a main thing that happens with everyone, right? Well, yes and no. I'll be fair. I'll be totally fair. Everyone has their own little thing, right? Has their own little thing. Has a different kind of like whatever with their thought process and their own little mind is what's going on, right? Well, if you think about it, honestly, most of it's going to be, you know, um, differently than we think, right? A lot of them, a lot of adults, especially ones that see a lot of stuff, right, will say that they don't see as much stuff as kids do. Understandable, but what happens when that turns into, I don't know, that something that you can't really perceive yourself, right? Because if we be actually conscious about this, do we ever see something that is completely same as what everyone else does? No. Why is that? Well, it's simple. Because we have different views on life, right? We have different views of the world, different views in life, different views in everything. Most people think about that as, well, you might see green, I might see blue, you might see purple, you might see pink. All that stuff goes totally different within everyone's understanding, right? I understand most of that is just you saying, okay, yeah, well, this is my interpretation of it. You can have yours, I can have mine. It's all the same. But if you really think about it, who here can tell me the last time you actually saw the same as someone else? Think about that. The only thing that I see that's wrong with a lot of people is that not only are you defying the fact that you yourself see something a little different than what I see, that's just telling everyone that you're just not in anything that you want to talk to anyone about. You're defying yourself, you're defying someone else, you're defying your whole thing, right? There could be a whole race out there that sees the same thing as you, but there's also a whole different race of people that don't see the same thing as you. And we're gonna say, oh yeah, that's society. Nah, not by a long shot. It's society because you perceive it as society, not what other people perceive it as. Like, for example, there's different views, Democrats and Republicans, right? I'm a Republican. I'm not going to talk about politics, but I'm a Republican. My whole family is. We support Trump. Do you support Trump? No? Okay, well, that's something we don't have in common. That's something that we don't support, right? Everyone hates Trump for something he's doing, right? But be honest. What did Biden do as president? Nothing good, right? Nothing memorable. That's what my problem with him is. He Trump is a businessman. He knows what he's doing. You have this whole thing about like how he's not doing anything good. Fine, enough about the politics. But people can be the same as you, and people can be different from you. That's not a big thing. Democrats and Republicans, something we don't have in common. I could be Republican. You can be Democrat. You can be whatever. You can be not religion. You can not. You could be. You can not have religion. I have a religion. It's Christianity. I'm a Christian. But you might not be. You might be atheist or Catholic or Buddhist or Islam or whatever. You might be whatever, right? But I'm just saying, a lot of people have their own little thing, right? You might be Jew, I'm not sure, but either way, it's the same way with everyone. We're all the same, right? We're all the same. We have the same view. Well, we don't have the same views, but we have the same planet we live on. It's the same thing every day for the rest of our lives. Only the dead have seen the end of it. But enough about that. Bluey has different views on kids. It tells parents to not take your kids very lightly, because again, kids can really go on serious weird stuff, right? Well, when that happens, that kind of takes away most of what you need to know, which meaning you can talk to your kids about whatever, and it doesn't tell you how parents how to parent. It just shows you in a perfect world that's what it could be like. But that's the way everyone perceives it, and that's the way it should be perceived because it's a perfect world and everyone should live in that. However, parents take that motive as like, okay, cool, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that as well. That's how I see it. But Bluey is just an adorable little kid show. You should probably watch it. I'm not telling you to, but I will put I will put the link. Well, not the link, but I will put the website down in the description below. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, punch the link below for the description. And as always, peace.